Two of my favourite Amouage fragrances: Decison, fruity, peppery incense; Overture Man, boozy, cognac, spice and grapefruits. In my opinion, these are exceptional, but now they become even more exceptional because they get the exceptional Extrait treatment. In here, I have previews of Decison 42 and Overture 41. Can these exceptional Extraits be as exceptional as these? Let's give them a sniff and find out. I wasn't just indulging in humorous wordplay, I actually think these two are exceptional. They are incredible fragrances, perfumery at its best. This one is a Quentin Beige fragrance. It only came out last year. It wasn't far behind Purpose 50, which is also a Quentin Beige fragrance. That is an absolute beast. That was another exceptional Extrait, a masterpiece. But actually, I found myself wearing Decison more. I am a huge fan of this. It's strong, it's impactful, but it's not too harsh, it's not too abrasive. Purpose 50 can be a little abrasive, a little obnoxious. If you overspray it, you've got to just spray a small amount of that. But this is more rounded. It's basically more versatile, but still very impactful. Overture Man, if you love a boozy fragrance, this one combines booze, grapefruit, leather, incense. There's so much going on. This is a complex fragrance. Can the Extraits better these two? They're 10 out of 10 fragrances, so I don't see how they can better these fragrances for me, but can they match them? Well, let's give them a little spray. I'm going to do a first impressions of these fragrances. I haven't smelled them yet, you just saw me unbox them, so I'm going to do some comparisons with them and see what the differences are and hopefully explain to you what they are so you get an idea about what these Extraits are doing. I'm going to start with Decison. This is Decison 42, so the oil is now at 42%. That is huge. That is a lot of perfume oil. I'm going to have to be a human tester strip. I can't do these off paper because Amouage fragrances are so complex that off a tester strip it will not do it justice, so I'm going to have to just go on bits of skin to make these comparisons. So Decison, it's so good. You know what? I think this is underrated. I can't believe more people don't talk about this scent. It's just incredible. I think this is an underrated gem, a masterpiece. Decison 42, let's see if we're dealing with a similar thing in a higher concentration or if it changes the pyramid completely. Oh, that's a big fragrance. I wouldn't say it's quite as sweet and fruity smelling, not quite as rounded. It's a bit more like Purpose 50 actually. This is a little spikier. I get more of a warm, slightly sweet woodiness. I think there is a little bit more sweetness coming out now as it's just starting to dry down a bit. It's spicier. I think the pink pepper's pushed more here, so it's got that punchy pink pepper quality more so than in the original Decison, but I think there's also a sweet spiciness. There's cinnamon in this, which there isn't, I don't think, in Decison, so that's coming through as well. So yeah, it is spicier. Also a little cleaner. I'm getting a bit of a soapy quality to this. Quite aromatic too. There is pine tar in this, so I'm getting a bit of an aromatic pine. There is quite a bit of the original Decison in there, but at the same time, it's doing a completely different thing. It doesn't smell like it's just a stronger version. There's different things going on. It's got a different character. It's a bit more attention grabbing. I think it's perhaps a little shoutier than Decison. I'm not saying stronger. I just think that the notes that are projecting off are just a little more noticeable perhaps than in Decison. Maybe not quite as smooth as Decison, but it definitely has the same amount of depth. It's more pointed. It's got more of a pointedness to the smell, I think is what I'm trying to say. So I think this is going to be immediately more noticeable when you wear it. I think it's less Middle Eastern as well. It's a bit more of a clean, slightly soapy, traditional, more masculine fragrance, whereas the original Decison, I think, had more of a focus on the frankincense. There was more of a sweet, fruity quality, so I think it had a bit more of a Middle Eastern feel. A few minutes into it now, and that pointedness is smoothing out a little bit, so in the dry down, I don't know if it will align to have the sort of same smoothness as Decison, but in the opening, it's not quite as smooth, but it is smoothing out. So in the dry down, which I'll have to let you know at a later date, I feel like it is going to settle really nicely and smooth. But I am really enjoying that. This is fantastic. I would say that There's shades of Purpose 50 maybe in there as well. Maybe I'm just making that up, but I feel like it's perhaps got a little bit of Purpose 50, a little bit of Decison, so maybe like a hybrid of those two fragrances, both Quentin Beach fragrances, so I guess that would make sense. I think it's more versatile. I think I could wear this in more situations than Decison. I think this could be a little strong in certain situations, but Decison 42, whilst it is just as strong, I think it has a profile that is a bit more versatile in more situations. I'm a big Quentin Beach fan. I loved Decison. I think Decison 42 is another beach banger. Cannot wait to give this some full wearings to really get a full sense of the fragrance, and like I said, I'll let you know my full opinion on that, on the whole wearing experience, once I've given it a few full wearings. Now, let's try Overture. Let's get the original on the hand. Oh, you know what, I've not worn this in a little while. It's more of an autumn winter fragrance for me because it is so deep and rich and heavy. Oh, it's a little smoky as well. Stunning. Let's see how the new Overture 41 compares to that. Wow, that's quite different. I'm getting more florals, I'm getting more sweetness, I'm getting more rose. I'm not getting the booziness. I don't know the notes of this one at this stage. I'll look them up in a second. But this is lighter and more floral and a lot more feminine leaning. I don't think it's too feminine leaning, but definitely more feminine than the uber masculine Overture. It's a bit chocolatey too. There's a little bit of a sweet chocolatey thing. This is Amouage Date Nights. If you want an Amouage fragrance for a date night, it's this. And I think that this is going to appeal to just as many guys as it is women. A bit like Guidance 46, a lot of guys will rock in that one. I think this is going to be a similar thing for a lot of people. I've just looked up the notes on this, and there's frankincense, saffron, cinnamon, benzoin, rose, geranium, patchouli, so that's maybe where the chocolatey element's coming from, laudanum, which can give things a little bit of an ambery, leathery sort of smell. There is leather in this as well, and vanilla, so there is a creamy, sweet, rose, spicy, sweet, spicy profile to this. I'm an idiot. I've just realised that this is a flanker to Overture Woman, not Overture Man. So we do not have an exceptional extrait of Overture Man yet. But if you haven't tried this one, you definitely need to try it. So that explains why this smells so different to that, and why this leans a little more to the feminine. It is more floral, it's sweeter, but there's a lot of backbone to this. It's beautiful. I could definitely wear this, but if I smelled this on a woman, it would be turning my head. Ladies, if you loved Guidance 46, I think you're gonna love this one as well. Not that it smells the same as that, but I think it's going to have the same sort of sexiness, the sensuality, the head-turning element to it. It's a strong, sweet, spicy rose, but there's some backbone with the laudanum, with the leather, some creaminess from the vanilla, that sweet spiciness. Wow, ladies, you've got to make sure that you try this one. Whenever it comes out, whenever it's released, go and smell it, because I think you'll love it, and I can't wait to give this a wearing to see if on a full wearing it really works off me. But it makes sense that Decison 42 is probably a little more masculine leaning, and then this being a flanker of Overture Woman is perhaps a little more feminine leaning, but not too much, because I'm definitely going to give this some wearings. So one for the guys, one for the girls, but I think either will work as a unisex fragrance. If you liked Decison, then I think you will probably really enjoy Decison 42. If you didn't like Decison, then still try this, because I think it's different enough from the original, and like I said, leans maybe a little into Purpose 50. So if you enjoyed Purpose 50 but Decison not as much, this sits somewhere probably in the middle of those two. So I think this is going to have a lot of fans, as is this one for the ladies. And now it is drying down a bit. It is leaning more into its floral, so I think it is going a little bit to the feminine, but I'm still going to give it a wearing and see how it works. Anik Manado, great job on Overture 41. Quentin Beach, great job on Decison 42. I am very blessed and honoured to be able to try these ahead of their official launch, and I think that these two are going to be exceptional extracts that people really enjoy. Are you looking forward to trying these? Which one are you most looking forward to? Let me know. Have you tried them yet? Which one is your favourite? And do you think Overture 41 is more feminine leaning? Or if you've smelt this and you're a guy, do you think you could rock this? That's it for this one. 2 brand new fragrances from Amouage. I hope you liked this video. I hope you found it useful. If you did, hit like, subscribe if you haven't already. And if you do all that, I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.